while it's in Los Angeles. Tonight, we put a bow on Week 15 with a good Monday night matchup between the New York Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Throwing first play is Herbert. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Wow, what a gutsy call. If you're the defense, opening drive, you just got the stop, or at least you think, and then boom, right back on the field for more.
It had to feel of something that they had planned for all week long. Hey, first drive of the game, let's be aggressive, let's go get them. And now defensively, they've got to be writing notes to themselves. In practice, work on fake punts right out of the gate because that was really unexpected.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. The Chargers at 9 and 4 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one. This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Jets will take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Ball again on 2nd down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
gain for the Chargers here on third. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's fourth down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert throwing right, and that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes two to tango. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On first and 10, Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Up to make the tackle, J.C. Jackson.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Still 9 remaining on second down. Now Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments.
And trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle on that play by Quinton Williams.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Here's Herbert. Going right side here, and that's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. The Chargers' passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Now their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, at the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. When we hit 3 in a row, because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. To another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against...
And this is caught. He's got a touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Chargers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From the 22, Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush, because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. This is taken at about the 14. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now Hall to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Hall again on 2nd down. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by DJ Reed. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
At their own 19-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Give to Hall running right. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Didn't have a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but closed there quickly at the end. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. This pass finds its way to Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, LA. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
In motion left is Wilson. Straight ahead is Hall. And some room to work. And he's in. touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7.
Chargers 17, Jets 7.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, this secondary just continues to be a force. Multiple interceptions in this game, and now the pick-6.
And the thing about it is once you get an interception as a unit, you think to yourself, okay, we got that. How do we increase it the next time? Get the interception, do a little more damage, and there's your outcome right there. Take it to the house and break down what they're trying to do offensively.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17.
The Charger drive about to get going. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. They find some open field here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 90 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw near to a 1,500-yard campaign. On 1st down, right back to Hall. Now the ball comes loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Hall want to give up the middle. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a gain of a yard there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
In order to play a really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people. Because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the 1st.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Right side, Claypool's got it. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 now. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick here is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, the bad news, they had the turnover last time. The good news, their defense only surrendered 3. So now we are set up for a great finish, all tied here in the 4th. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they found a way to be successful with it.
48 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
3rd and 2, Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
That's just what you call a chain mover right there. Nothing fancy. You get the ball out to the back, and you're asking him to make a little bit extra out of maybe what is nothing. And he does exactly that. Picks up the 1st down. I can't wait till we get to the point, partner, where we're not saying chain mover, but we're saying laser pointer picks it up for the 1st down.
And Herbert able to get this one to Eckler out of the backfield. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert on the screen. This is Eckler. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. A 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Chargers have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. They will take a 7-point lead. Touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Wilson to throw. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Elijah Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Important extra point up and through. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing, Herbert. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now Herbert. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
It's a gain of 14 and brings up
Herbert.
at the 48-yard line.
Caught left side, Williams. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Martin, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And the question now, can they get closer on third down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. He's at the 30. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. In a tie game, fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive? Probably time for two more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Herbert to throw.
And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Herbert going to throw.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last two snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Herbert. Going deep downfield for Ross.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle.